You've encountered one of the most prevalent landscape photography issues if you've ever shot a picture where the mountains appear sharp, but the rock in the foreground is soft, or the foreground is sharp, but the horizon is out of focus. Our eyes can take in a whole scene and make it feel sharp from front to back, but a camera has to make a very specific focusing decision. That's where hyperfocal distance comes in. It sounds technical at first, but once you understand the concept, it becomes one of the most practical tools for getting landscapes sharp from the foreground all the way to the background. Today, we're going to break it down in a simple way and show how we can use it in the field without overcomplicating the process. Hyperfocal distance is the closest distance you can focus your lens while still keeping everything from about half that distance to infinity acceptably sharp. In practical terms, it helps us place the focus point in a spot that gives us the maximum useful depth of field. Let's make that more concrete. Imagine we're shooting with a 24mm lens at f11 on a full-frame camera. The hyperfocal distance might be around 2 meters. If we focus on something about 2 meters away, then everything from roughly 1 meter in front of the camera to the horizon can appear acceptably sharp. The important word here is acceptably. Hyperfocal distance doesn't mean every part of the image is equally razor sharp at the pixel level. It means the foreground, middle ground, and background all fall within a range of sharpness that looks good in a normal viewing situation. A lot of beginners instinctively focus on the mountains or the horizon because that seems like the most important part of the scene. The problem is that focusing at infinity pushes much of the depth of field behind the focus point, where it doesn't help us at all. When we focus too far away, we lose sharpness in the foreground. That's why a nearby rock, flower, or patch of grass can end up looking soft, even when the background is perfectly sharp. Hyperfocal focusing solves this by placing the focus point closer into the scene. Instead of focusing on the farthest object, we focus at the distance that balances foreground and background sharpness. Let's say we're photographing a landscape with a rock in the foreground about 1 meter away and mountains in the distance. If we use a 24mm lens at f11, a hyperfocal distance around 2 meters would be a good starting point. So instead of focusing on the mountains, we would focus on something roughly 2 meters away. By doing that, the depth of field extends from about 1 meter to infinity, which keeps both the foreground rock and the distant mountains acceptably sharp. That's the key shift in thinking. We're not focusing on the subject we care about most, we're focusing where the depth of field works most efficiently. The easiest and most accurate way to find hyperfocal distance is to use a smartphone app like PhotoPill's DOF Master or Hyperfocal Pro. We simply enter the camera format, focal length, and aperture, and the app gives us a distance to focus on. But if we don't want to pull out an app every time, there's a practical field rule we can use. Find the closest object we want to appear sharp. Estimate how far away that object is, then double that distance and focus there. For example, if the nearest important object is about 1 meter away, we can start by focusing at around 2 meters. It's not mathematically perfect, but it usually gets us close enough when using a wide-angle lens stopped down to f8 or f11. One of the most important practical tips is this. When estimating hyperfocal distance, err on the side of focusing slightly farther away, not closer. If we focus a little beyond the true hyperfocal distance, the nearest foreground may lose a tiny bit of sharpness. But if we focus too close, the far limit of sharpness can fall short of infinity and the horizon may become soft. In landscape photography, a soft horizon is usually much more noticeable than a slightly softer foreground edge. So, when we're estimating rather than measuring precisely, focusing a little farther into the scene is usually the safer choice. Hyperfocal distance works best when paired with a sensible aperture. Stopping down to f8 or f11 usually provides a strong balance between depth of field and overall lens sharpness. It can be tempting to stop down all the way to f16 or f22 to maximize depth of field, but very small apertures can introduce diffraction, which softens the entire image and reduces overall sharpness. For most landscapes, we treat f8 to f11 as the sweet spot. Then we use hyperfocal focusing to place that depth of field where it does the most work. Hyperfocal distance has limits. If the nearest important object is only a few inches from the lens, even f11 may not provide enough depth of field to keep both that foreground and the distant background sharp. In those situations, the better solution is often focus stacking. That means taking multiple photos focused at different distances and blending them together in post-processing. Hyperfocal distance is still incredibly useful for the vast majority of landscape scenes, especially when the nearest important object is a reasonable distance away. But for extreme near-to-far compositions, focus stacking may be the cleaner approach. Modern cameras make it much easier to verify focus than older manual focus systems did. Here's the workflow we'd use. Set the camera to a sensible aperture, usually f8 or f11. Estimate or calculate the hyperfocal distance. Focus on an object at that distance. Use magnified live view to check the horizon. Check the nearest important foreground object as well. If the horizon looks soft, move the focus point slightly farther away. If the foreground is too soft, move the focus point slightly closer or consider focus stacking. When we're out shooting landscapes, we can simplify the whole process into a few repeatable steps. Choose a wide-angle focal length if we want strong front-to-back sharpness. Select an aperture around f8 or f11. Identify the closest object we want sharp. Estimate or calculate the hyperfocal distance. Focus at that distance. Use magnified live view to confirm the horizon and horizon are sharp enough. After practicing this a few times, we start to develop an intuitive sense of where to focus in common landscape situations. Hyperfocal distance sounds complicated at first, but it's really just a way of placing our focus intelligently. Instead of guessing or always focusing on the horizon, we use the lens's depth of field in the most efficient way possible. For most landscapes, a wide-angle lens, an aperture around f8 or f11, and a focus point slightly into the scene will get us very close. And if we want maximum precision, a hyperfocal distance app can give us the exact number. Once we start using this technique consistently, we'll spend less time hoping the image is sharp and more time knowing that the foreground, middle ground, and background are all working together. That's it for today. If this breakdown helped you understand hyperfocal distance, let us